Joe Biden is caught. Well, he was lying all along. And now the people that are covering for him, Democrats like Anna Navarro from The View, gets into it with Scott Jennings. That's a tiny, tiny clip. This actually is going to expand into a bigger argument about all the people who lie for not only Biden, but the entire Democrat Party is built on a foundation of lies. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This bandage is coming off, so I'm going to have to go in and, I'm going to have to go repair that. Man, what a mess. I'm a mess. Well, I'm glad you're here with me in my mess, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to the Quad Club. We are the Quad Club. If you haven't joined us, get me to 1 million subscribers as we watch the lies unfold. Here's where we'll start.
And watching some of the interviews he did over
for your viewership.
Yeah, I saw it. It's rare for me, but I did watch it. I will just say, watching him over the last few days reminded me that a whole bunch of people were telling us with a straight face that this man was capable of serving another 4 years as president. And that these appearances, coupled with what I understand is going to be the equivalent of a nuclear bomb dropped on the Democratic Party when Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's book come out next week. I don't know that the Democrats have fully internalized what's about to happen to them between what he looks like today and what they're about to report. Get
ready for it. That's going to be the big bombshell, is Jake Tapper's book, which documents Joe Biden's decline, why he lost the last election, and why the press covered up for it, including Jake Tapper, of course. I don't know what kind of a mea culpa will be in that book, but at least one chapter should be on Jake Tapper. I lied to the American people on CNN. But Scott Jennings has an inside scoop on what a nuclear bomb this is going to be. They're going to detail all of the Joe Biden's inability to remember things. We have examples of it, and it's going to make them all look even worse.
I'm not sure that Joe.
You just said that
what
he
did
told.
not say?
You said that he told Kamala Harris that she could not have any distance
False.
from
It's
him.
been reported. He told.
It doesn't
her
matter
point
what he
blank.
was.
He told her point blank, no daylight, kid. No daylight.
Because reporting can never be wrong.
Are you attacking the journalism around it?
You think reporting can never be wrong?
If you
You
want to be
come
anti-journalism,
in and you come on here and you attack reporting every night.
I do not.
We actually asked him the question
There's critical
directly.
reporting about this guy,
Okay.
and he told her point
Well,
blank,
we asked
no
him.
daylight.
We asked him directly today.
All right.
Did you tell her
You think he's
that?
ever told a lie?
I don't think he tells many lies.
Cognitive decline, I can tell you that much.
I don't think he tells many lies. I don't think he's done a
Come on.
Wait. No, you know why you don't get to laugh like that? Because you support a guy who lies every freaking day and lies continuously. You support a guy who cannot acknowledge that he lost the 2020 election and that lies about it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's in Jake.
Thank you.
Have you read it? Have you read it?
Guys, we gotta
Have you
go.
read
Thank
it?
you very much.
We're going to read it. I'm going to get me a copy of it. We'll go over it on the air. Hope you guys are around. Leave a comment below if you'll be here for it. Now, Ann Navarro, who just now said that it's okay for Joe Biden to lie because Trump's such a liar, but she claims Joe Biden did not lie. And everyone, of course, it made everyone burst in laughter because everyone knows that he lied. Here's Ann Navarro on Bill Maher, basically proving herself wrong.
We need to do compare and contrast here. Joe Biden's gotten asked about, talking about law and order. He's gotten asked if he would pardon his son. He has said no. He got asked if he would commute the sentence of his son. He has said no.
So this is back before Joe Biden pardoned his son. He said, I will not pardon him and I will not commute his sentence. That was before the election, before he thought it might damage their ability to run. And then later, of course, he pardons his son when it's in the clear. So that is the biggest lie. That is, he always knew he would pardon Hunter Biden, even when he said he would not pardon him just for political favor. On the subject of lying and cover-ups, we're going to get back to more Biden. But first, in recent history, it is Jasmine Crockett who does all the lying. This is a MAGA rising star, shutting down Jasmine Crockett in a testimony. And it starts to reveal what is true about the Democrat Party. Are they even telling the truth about anything? I think the whole system is a lie.
Fired.
Nothing excites me more than the thought of President Trump initiating the largest deportation operation in American history. I'd like to remind the committee that the purpose of our immigration system is for the benefit of American citizens, not foreigners or anybody else. For the past 4 years, Democrats have facilitated the invasion of over 10 million illegal aliens into our country.
That's the first lie. This is Rep. Gill, a great Republican MAGA rising star, and he's answering Jasmine Crockett. The biggest lie the Democrats told was the border was secure, while they smuggled in over 11 million illegal immigrants right in front of our faces.
Open borders grow the welfare state. They depress American wages, strain our education and healthcare system, price our working class out of owning a home, and flood our communities with violence and drugs. Mr. Beer, and as well as my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, you're intellectualizing about illegal alien crime notwithstanding. I'd like to remind you that the correct number of American citizens murdered or raped by illegal aliens is 0. Americans have learned firsthand that importing the third world will turn America into the third world. So in light of the chaos of the past 4 years, the question that has come up earlier is, why are our Democrat colleagues so determined to flood our country with millions of illegal aliens? And I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's because they benefit from it politically. Remember that every state is apportioned congressional seats based on population, not based on citizenship. Counting non-citizens in congressional apportionment has resulted in more seats for blue states and fewer congressional seats for red states.
And that's it. He just told the truth. The moment a Democrat says that, you can believe them if they're telling the truth again and are no longer lying. It politically benefits their party. If they didn't have illegals changing Senate census results that benefit the Senate, benefit the representative government, not the Senate, the House of Reps, they wouldn't be doing it. They don't love these illegals. They just keep saying they're here to pick our fruit. They're not here to benefit them. They want the illegals to benefit our own. It's a takeover of our government. Here's Jasmine Crockett with more lies about Republicans being white supremacists and Nazis.
They try to act like, oh, political violence, it's the Democrats and it's the liberals. And it's like, actually, I mean, I'm not going to say that like a left-leaning person cannot be violent, because that would be like crazy to say that somebody can't be. But baby, y'all got the white supremacists galore, okay? Like all of them. You got the...
And how much violence I've never even met a white supremacist. I don't even know what she's talking about. I might have met one in my whole life. How many of them are out there committing violence right now? I haven't even heard of them. And believe me, the news would love to see some white supremacist violence. It's not there. It's totally made up. Now go to the actual real violence of Black Lives Matter, where the number of cops assaulted, killed, violence, burned down buildings, riots, smash and grab crime is real. She won't comment on that real. They make up this white supremacist ghost that's out there somewhere. They don't have them on camera. It's like UFOs.
Proud Boys, you got the neo-Nazis, you have people
neo-Nazis just walking around everywhere. I see them everywhere,
that literally should be classified as domestic terrorists, because a lot of times that is what they are doing. They're engaging in domestic terrorism
like the Palestinian protesters that are preventing Jews from going on campus at Columbia State. Real terror.
And guess what? They all align with your side. Yeah. Including the KKK. So like...
Wait. You forgot the KKK was the Democrat Party. It was the Democrats in the South. Jasmine, KKK is your people.
I mean, this is who aligns with that. So like inherently in like who you are, y'all are violent. Like right. Y'all, and most of your violence has to do with people that's got a little bit of melanin. But
a little bit of melanin, and now it's race-based violence. So I'll bring up the stats too. That black on white violence is double white on black violence. That's just the statistics. That's a fact. I'm not saying anything about racism or anything, but her whole thing on the idea that melanin are less violent is insane.
Nevertheless, like y'all are a violent group of like you attract violent actors, and like I'm sorry, I know they tried to make Black Lives Matter out to be the most violent that they. What about Black Lives Matter? No. So that
no, that's not an answer. Just saying, what about Black Lives Matter? No answer, no reason. She can't look at the statistics. It's clear. I'm glad she brought it up though, just to negate it. Because she actually ends up ending her own argument. It's so poorly formed. Now, she represents a poison in covering up for the Democrat Party. And old school Democrats like James Carville are calling her, and people like her, stupid.
Ilhan Omar says that white men are responsible for most of the deaths in the United States. So let me get this straight. 69% of the people, I'm stuck on that number, I don't know, but 69% of people going to vote are white. Of that, 48.5 are males. So I don't know, my rough math is 33%. Let's go out and piss off 33% of the people that vote, and that's a smart strategy. And the people that agree with her. There are people that actually agree with her. And I think these people are more trouble than they're worth.
Ah, yes. Democrats are more trouble than they're worth. But that's even the left, James Carville, complaining about the far left, which is radicals like Jasmine Crockett. Now, we're going to get back on Joe Biden. But before we absolutely slam him hard, it's important to bring out a compliment about him that Donald Trump made. This one's good. This is one thing that we can all admire about Joe Biden.
Need a lot of sleep, but when you can't fall asleep, you wake up in the night, how do you go back to sleep?
Well, the only thing I totally admired about Sleepy Joe Biden is the following. He'd go to a beach, he'd lay down in a cot, barely able to get his feet through the sand. He'd lay down, and within minutes he's sleeping, and you have cameras watching him. I could never do that. I would never be able to sleep like that. That's about the only thing I think that was wonderful. He was a disaster. This man was a disaster. I don't sleep much. You don't sleep much. A lot of people that love what they're doing don't sleep much, I find. And so far, it's been okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much I sleep. I go to bed, probably around 11. I wake up at 5. I do about 6 hours sleep-ish, 6 hours sleep. Oh, this thing was itching last night. Oh, man, it drives me crazy. Okay, we're going to get back to Joe's absolute mental decline. Watch this. So in this video clip, I'm going to cue it up for you in a minute. I'm just going to explain it, so I only have to show it one time. But Joe Biden there, second from the left, okay? That's Chuck Schumer at the podium here. He's going to turn around and shake Joe Biden's hand first. And then Joe shakes this guy on the left's hand and these two ladies on the right. And by the time, Chuck Schumer shakes their hand. By the time Chuck Schumer comes back around, Biden had forgotten that Chuck Schumer shook his hand. Seconds later, watch this. Okay, shakes Biden's hand, shakes that guy's hand, the ladies, and then look, there's Biden with his hand out.
Now
hey,
our great speaker, our partner, who all of
Biden's laughing back there. He's going, hey, where's my handshake? Right there. Where's, look at him. Where's my handshake? Chuck Schumer turns, Biden, where's my handshake at? Dude, it was 5 seconds before. And he's so unconscious, he had no idea that he had just shaken his hand. Now, we're going to go back into not just the lies about Joe Biden, but Joe Biden's lies himself. This is CNN. How bad is it when CNN admits that Joe Biden just went through a whole string of lies? I'll let them make my case for me.
And he has done, I don't know if it's similar things, but he's sort of told some stories that don't line up quite like this before.
Yeah, this president has a pattern at this point of either inventing or embellishing stories about his own past.
They're talking about Joe Biden.
His biography. He did it 3 times in one speech last month alone. He claimed he had witnessed a bridge collapse in Pittsburgh when he actually showed up about 6 hours later. He claimed that his grandfather had died just days before he was born himself at the same hospital. In fact, his grandpa died more than a year before in a different state, not the same hospital. And he also repeated a favorite false story that I and others have debunked over and over again about a supposed conversation with an Amtrak train conductor he was friends with, who was actually deceased at the time the conversation would have had to take place. And that's not all. There are some more serious ones in my view. Previously in his presidency, he claimed at one point he'd been arrested during a civil rights protest, when in other versions of the story, he just said an officer had taken him home from a protest. He said he had visited the Pittsburgh synagogue where worshipers were killed in a 2018 mass shooting. In fact, he had actually spoken to the rabbi, but never went. And he's made a whole bunch of others too. He said at one point, Republicans like to bring this up, he said that he used to drive a tractor trailer, he used to drive an 18-wheeler. Never happened. The White House later clarified he used to drive a school bus at one point as a job briefly. School bus, of course, not an 18-wheeler. So whatever his intentions, whether it's foggy memory about stuff that's going on decades ago.
How about a habitual liar? Don't forget that his uncle crashed a plane and was eaten by cannibals. This guy is ridiculous. The Democrat Party having to cover up for Joe Biden, like Anna Navarro did at the start, saying, I don't recall him lying. He seems kind of honest to me. That's why we all burst out in laughing at the thought of it, because that in and of itself, to cover up for a liar is to lie. And Navarro, got bad news for you. I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.